for change in Brazil, and tonight they took their message to downtown Vancouver. Hundreds rallied outside the art gallery, angry over the growing unrest in the South American nation. CTV's Scott Hurst tells us what sparked the rallies and why they continue to grow.
There was a sea of yellow and green in downtown Vancouver. This rally is part of a wave of protests calling out the Brazilian government.
We can't stand it anymore.
These demonstrators are nowhere near their homeland, but they are raising their voices just the same.
We really want to be there now, but we can't, so we are trying to make our own protest here.
An estimated 250,000 people marched on a dozen Brazilian cities on Monday and continued Tuesday. Some turned violent. Both protesters and police injured in the midst of the melee. They are calling for change, fed up with rampant crime, corruption, and a lack of social services.
We have people starving, and they sell you Rio, they sell you the carnival, they sell you the beaches and the soccer players, but this is not Brazil.
They came out to support the protests that are taking place all across Brazil, and the numbers here swell to several hundred in just a short period of time.
They have to hear what people are saying on the street. That is enough.
Sparked earlier this month by a hike in bus and subway fares, the nationwide protests have sparked a greater debate over the gap between rich and poor. They say as the government spends billions on sporting events like the World Cup and the 2016 Olympics, the rest of the country struggles to survive.
So now we're going to fight and to say everything we need to say, everything we need to change, because that's enough. We need a better country. All this money that we spend needs to be to the people.
From Brazil to the streets of Vancouver.
This is the point. We must make some noise everywhere.
The struggles of a nation getting set to host the world were on display half a world away. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Vancouver.